A mother receives a disturbing phone call in the wee hours of the night at around 4 a.m. She is a bit hesitant to pick up the phone, wondering who could be calling at such an ungodly hour. But to her surprise, it's the headmistress at her son's high school. She hurriedly picks up the phone while wondering what the reason might be. And behold, she is met with the worst news any parent can ever hear. Your son is dead. Welcome back to Tavern Crime Chronicles. Here we explore strange, mysterious, chilling, solved, and unsolved cases in Uganda and beyond. If you have the nerve for fascinating stories, this is your channel. Please join us today and together we'll uncover the hidden mysteries behind the high fences, the closed doors, and the secrets lurking in the shadows. Today's story takes us to Seeta High School in Mukono district that is part of the Seeta Schools group owned by the Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Muhingo. The schools are dedicated to academic excellence and holistic student development that has always been reflected in the school's performance. With a mission to nurture young minds, the country would ironically wake up to the horrific news of the death of one of their students in the school dormitory. This is the story of Elishama Ssesazi. Born in 2008 to Mr. and Mrs. Robert Ssesazi, one of Kampala's tycoon businessmen, Elishama was 16 years and in Senior 3 at Seeta High School, Mukono. He was known to be a good student who loved God and would on most days lead prayers. His parents loved him, and despite being a family of many resources, they did not spoil their son with lots of money to spend at school. His father actually described him as a saver, because while he was given 100,000 Ugandan shillings for pocket money, he would return with 70,000 shillings saved at the end of the term. Theirs was a son with a humble character and promising future that his parents took comfort and pride in. Unfortunately, a dark cloud descended on their once happy home on February 21, 2025, at around 4:45 a.m. when Elishama's mother received that one phone call in the wee hours of the night that would change their lives forever. At the end of the line was the headmistress of Seeta High School, and she did not bear any good news. She mentioned that their son had unfortunately passed on and that he had taken his own life. In shock and disbelief, she called her husband, who was not at home at the moment, and she drove to the school with her husband following behind. While on Sambia Road, on her way to Seeta High School, Elishama's mother, still in shock, called the headmistress again and asked that they should not touch the body, because his parents needed to really see if indeed he had taken his own life, because such an abomination had never happened in their entire family. Again on Ginger Road, Chireka, as she approached Mukono, she called and made the same request that their son's body not be touched till they saw his body and confirmed that indeed their son was normal. Surprisingly, on getting to the school, they were informed that the body had been removed from the scene by the police and conveyed to Kampala City Mortuary for post-mortem. The Executive Director, Minister John Chrysostom Muhingo, was already present at the time of arrival, and on further inquiry about the details of their son's death, they were told that the deceased had attended evening classes on the previous day until 10 p.m. and later retired to the dormitory along with his classmates. However, at around 3 a.m., one of his roommates discovered him hanging next to his bed and immediately informed the school administration, which subsequently alerted the police. Social media was already awash with stories about the matter and mentioned that Elishama, a kid from a rich family, had asked for 2 million shillings from his father, who refused to grant his request and thus decided to end his own life. These claims were, however, denied and by his father, who mentioned during his burial that Elishama was not a ravish spender, but rather a saver. For weeks now, Elishama's name has been all over social media, with people having more questions than answers. A story from an unknown source leaked onto the internet around the time of his death, rubbishing claims that Elishama could have taken his life, and said that the truth was that he had been murdered by his fellow students. The article further mentioned that Elishama, being a boy who loved to pray and also preach against sin of homosexuality that he had noticed among some of the students, could have created a great rift among them. It is either that they tried to recruit him and he refused, or that they warned him against fighting them, or else he would lose his life. Unfortunately, the latter happened, and the school authorities tried their best to sweep the truth under the carpet so as to protect the name of the school. Today, the story that was once marked as controversial seems closer to the truth, because the questions on everyone's mind are slowly piling, while the answers are nowhere to be seen. Why was the body removed before the parents could get to the school despite being requested not to? Why was there no suicide note left behind? If the body was discovered at 3 a.m., why were the parents informed at around 4:45 a.m.? Why were the parents denied from accessing their son's body for hours? Was evidence being cleaned up? At the viewing of the body, why were there no signs of ties around the neck? And why was the bedsheet said to have been used, not wrinkled, as a cloth that had tied something? Was it that the parents were denied viewing the footage of their son's final hours despite the schools having cameras on ground? So sketchy? Why is it that none of his classmates were allowed to come and bury their friend, or even a prefect or teacher sent for Elishama's burial? Could the school be hiding something that they fear might be revealed? As we pray that Elishama gets justice, we demand that the government looks into the eligibility of boarding schools, or if in fact there is need for them. The case has created great fear in me as a parent due to the uncertainty of our children's safety once they are behind the high school fences. We do hope for a quick investigation into the case by the police to establish the exact cause of death so that his family can at least get justice and some closure. We will keep you updated on the case as it unfolds, but meanwhile, kindly share your thoughts and tell us what you think really happened. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe, like the video, and even share it with your friends and family. And we will see you on the next one.